Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to another session of chemistry practical classes. I think this is the third session where we are doing the salt analysis. We didn't yet completely analyze the salt, and by the last class, we have completed the anion analysis, its confirmatory, preparation of sodium carbonate extract, all those things I have explained in the previous videos. And today I am going to explain you how to analyze the cation. Okay, so we have done the preliminary test, then preliminary of anions, preparation of sodium carbonate extract, then doing the confirmatory of anions with the extract. Okay, so we have finally analyzed the anion which was present in the salt that we had taken. And today we are going to see what is the cation present in it. Okay, for analyzing cation, what you need is the solubility is a must. From the solubility itself you will get some information regarding what the cation may be. That part I have already explained you. Okay, solubility tests are the first preliminary test soon after checking the color and texture of the given salt. Okay. Then solubility is to be done with three solvents in the order: first with water, cold water, then if it is not soluble, then go for warm water. Warming the mixture will be also fine. Then if not soluble in water, then proceed for the next solvent, that is dilute HCl. And if it is soluble, I think this is the third time I am repeating the same thing. Check the second part of solubility with water, that is addition of sodium carbonate solution into the salt solution to get a precipitate. If precipitate is getting, then that means ammonium ions are absent, and if you are not getting any precipitate on adding sodium carbonate solution into salt solution, then it is almost confirmed that ammonium ions are present. Okay, and today again we have a salt here. I don't reveal the name of the salt. Okay, we have already analyzed the anion present in it, and today we are going to analyze the cation with that. Okay, so we need to prepare, as I have mentioned over here, original solution is to be prepared. OS, original solution is to be prepared. Original solution means nothing else, a solution of the salt in any of these three given solvents. Okay, water, dilute HCl, or HNO3. These are the solvents, and we in the order start with water. Okay, then if it is soluble in water, the original solution can be prepared in water, that's fine. Okay, then if it is not soluble in cold and hot water, then proceed for dilute HCl, that also in cold and hot condition. First in cold dilute HCl, then heat the mixture to see if it is soluble in the hot mixture, HCl or not. Okay, then if it is insoluble in that too, then only we will proceed for dilute nitric acid and the solubility in that. Okay, and so let's see what we can do or how we can prepare the original solution with the given salt. Let's see if it is soluble in water or dilute HCl or dilute HNO3. Okay, that's what I'm going to perform first. For that, for checking the solubility, okay, as it is original solution preparation, OS preparation, you will be taking a little bit extra of the salt. Okay, for original solution preparation, as I have already done the preliminary test of solubility, you must know now in which of the given solvent the salt was soluble. Okay, so you have got already that idea of solubility. Now what you are going to do is the original solution preparation, where you need a little bit extra of the solution, because there are 7 groups of cations, starting with the 0 group and ending with the 6th group. It has nothing to do with the groups in the periodic table. We are not talking about any of those things. Okay, these groups of cations are entirely different that you will I think understand from the scheme that I have provided you if you had gone through. Okay, so here I am going to prepare a little bit extra of the salt solution. Okay, original solution. Okay, here you have the salt. Into that we are adding water. Okay, in a little bit large quantity I have prepared it, because if we need to analyze all those in the groups starting with 0 to 6, we may need a lot of it. Okay, so for that purpose, whenever you prepare the original solution for cation analysis, you do it in a little bit large quantity. Just for checking purpose, checking the solubility, you may take a little bit of the salt and proceed for that. And here you have the salt solution. Okay, you have got a clear solution. The salt got completely dissolved in it. Okay, and from this we are taking a little bit and checking for presence of ammonium ion. Okay, the salt is already soluble in water, in cold water. So a separate solution of sodium carbonate is to be prepared. A little bit of sodium carbonate is to be taken in another test tube. Then make a solution of that and mix both and make sure that you are getting a precipitate or not. If getting a precipitate, that is not ammonium ion. Okay, if you are not getting a precipitate, that means it is indicative of the presence of ammonium ion. Let's see what happens when sodium carbonate solution is added into it. So here you have the sodium carbonate and you are making a solution of that. Okay, sodium carbonate solution and the salt solution. Here is the salt solution and this is the sodium carbonate solution. And now I am going to mix sodium carbonate solution into salt solution. And you can see an immediate precipitation. You have got a lot of precipitate. That means it is indicative of absence of ammonium ion. NH4 plus ion is absent. So we don't have to now worry about the presence of ammonium ion. Zero group is missing. That means the cation of the salt that we have is not of ammonium. It's not an ammonium salt. So now we will have to proceed for the next group. That is, after zero group, the first group comes. Okay, the first group cation for your study is only lead. Okay, and the group reagent used for first group, is dilute hydrochloric acid, dilute HCl. So now you have the original solution with you. Mean you have prepared the salt solution in water, that is treated as the original solution. Don't think that always original solution will be prepared in water. It depends on the solubility of the salt. Okay, anyway, luckily today we have the salt dissolved in water, so original solution is prepared in that. Okay, we have the original solution here. Okay, and a little bit of the original solution is taken in a test tube because we have prepared already in excess. Okay, we are taking some portion of the original solution prepared, the salt solution in water, in a test tube, and into that we are going to add dilute HCl because that is the first group reagent. That means if any first group cation is there, any means only one is there in first group, lead, Pb2+. Okay, if lead is present, on adding dilute HCl, you will get a white precipitate. Okay, because lead cation will combine with chloride ion of dilute HCl to give you lead chloride, which you know is an insoluble substance, which will give the white precipitate. Okay, so now you have the clear solution. Okay, even you can add a little more of water. Okay, the solution is somewhat clear, even though it looks a little bit foggy. There is no precipitate. I hope you can see that. Okay, or look at this, it's rather a clear solution. Okay, okay, let's add the hydrogen chloride HCl solution into this boiling tube itself. Let's do that. Okay, so here is the clear solution, and here you have dilute HCl. I hope you can see the label DHCl written, dilute HCl, and now we are going to add it. And you can see a lot of precipitate being formed. Precipitate is hanging around, I mean floating precipitate, right? I hope everyone can see that. So this is indicative of the presence of first group cation. That means the given salt contains lead as the cation. Now this is not enough. Okay, we have to now do the confirmatory test of lead. For the exam point of view, you may be sometimes asked to perform the confirmatory test for any of the whatever the cation given in the salt. Okay, so you may have to do the confirmatory, extracting only the precipitate part. Now what we need, okay, zero group was missing and first group is present. That means we have got a white precipitate, which is indicative of presence of first group cation. Okay, and now what we need is only the precipitate. That means the precipitate of lead chloride, as I have told you. Okay, when lead cation reacts with Cl minus of the acid dilute HCl, it gives lead chloride as the precipitate, and that is insoluble in cold water. Okay, so what you need is now the precipitate. So we need to take the precipitate only. For that we need to separate out the filtrate part. Okay, we have to separate the filtrate part and we will continue with the residue part. So for this purpose, you can either go for centrifugation or you can go for filtration. Better centrifugation is easy, filtration is a slow process. Okay, so for centrifugation what we need is, we need a tube like this. It is called a centrifugation tube, and we have a machine over there. We transfer the solution into the centrifugation tube and we will put the centrifugation tube in the centrifuge, and it will be whirled with very high speed so that the heavier precipitate particle will settle down and we can easily throw off the clear filtrate part. Okay, then you will get the precipitate alone. Okay, and we will continue with that precipitate alone. I hope you got it. So here I am transferring this entire solution which contains the first group cation. Okay, now we have this one. Even if allowing it to stand for a while, the precipitate will settle, but in all cases it may not happen. In this case it happens, and in all cases it may not happen, and it may be very slow too. So better you go for centrifugation. That's what I am going to do. Okay, now I will put this one into centrifugation machine. It will be whirled with very high speed, so due to the gravity the heavier particle will settle down. Okay, now I hope you can see how well the precipitate got settled. After putting in the centrifugation machine, the precipitate has got settled at the bottom of the centrifugation tube. Okay, and now we can easily pour out the clear part of the solution. We don't need that clear part of the solution. Only what we need is the precipitate. Okay, so I'm going to pour it off. Okay, now we are left with only the precipitate, which is what we need. Now, this precipitate, this is the first group precipitate of lead chloride, which is not soluble in cold water. So, we are going to add this precipitate we have to add water, okay, to this precipitate, and I have transferred the precipitate into another test tube. Okay, getting the precipitate, you can see it is not soluble in water, it is again settling down, and now we are going to heat it. Okay, we need to heat the mixture of lead chloride and water, so that in hot water this is partially, at least partially it is soluble in hot water. Okay, we have a lot of precipitate and we have less solvent added. Okay, even though it may look too much for you, it is actually, in comparison with the precipitate's content quantity, solvent is less, so the entire precipitate is not going to dissolve even if we heat. Okay, we get a part of it dissolved by heating. That's what I'm going to do now. Okay, after getting it dissolved in hot water, the rest of the confirmatory test of the cation is to be carried out. Okay, so here you have the Bunsen burner. Okay, and I'm going to heat it. Just you have to do it carefully, safely, turning it towards a safer zone. Otherwise, the spitting of the mixture may happen. It may fall on your face, on your body, or someone else's body. That should be avoided. So heating is to be done so very carefully, holding with a test tube holder. Okay, then heat it, and so that the cation, that is lead chloride, a part of it at least, gets soluble in hot water. And we will proceed with the dissolved part of the cation, lead chloride. You can see earlier lot of precipitate was there, and now we have only less of the precipitate. That means a major part of the precipitate got dissolved in the hot water. Let's see a little bit more of heating. Let's do. Okay, a major part of the precipitate got dissolved in hot water. Now I am going to take this clear part, that means dissolved part, into another test tube. Only the dissolved part I am taking. Okay. And if you cannot get the dissolved part alone like this, you can again go for centrifugation and separate the precipitate part and take the clear part. So here you have the clear solution, into which what we are going to now add is the acetic acid. We need acetic acid. So here you have acetic acid. It's written glacial acetic acid. Okay, means concentrated acetic acid it is. Okay, we have added it, and not much of any change has occurred. You can see the solution somewhat clear, into which now we are going to add potassium chromate. Potassium chromate is a yellow colored solution, but it is a clear solution, nothing of a precipitate or anything. And into this clear solution we are going to add potassium chromate solution. You can see a lot of yellow precipitate, formation of lot of yellow precipitate, and this yellow precipitate which is formed on addition of potassium chromate, okay, will dissolve. This yellow precipitate will dissolve on adding excess of sodium hydroxide. Okay, a little bit of this one I am transferring into another test tube. Okay, and here we have sodium hydroxide. Here we have sodium hydroxide, which is to be added into it to see if it is soluble or not. You have to add excess of it. You can see the precipitate got dissolved, and now we have got a clear solution. There is no precipitate now in it. So this is a confirmatory test for lead. Okay, what you have to do is first take out the precipitate, dissolve it in hot water, take the clear solution. Take the clear solution of the first group precipitate. Okay, into that you add acetic acid, and then add potassium chromate. You will get a yellow precipitate, and this yellow precipitate is soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. That is one confirmatory of lead. Okay, then one more confirmatory of lead is there, which is more interesting. So that I will perform now. Okay, for that what you need is the second part of the solution. Okay, here you have the clear first group precipitates solution in hot water. Okay, this a little bit of this one is taken, and into which we will be adding some other reagents, and then you will see. It's a lengthy process, it will take some time anyway. Okay, I am going to perform that. So here you have the clear solution of first group precipitate, that means lead chloride solution in hot water. Okay, one confirmatory we have already done, and this is the second confirmatory, and at least one confirmatory, and this second confirmatory is better for lead. In the case of lead, if you can perform the second confirmatory, which is a perfect confirmatory for lead. Okay, so into this what you are going to add is potassium iodide, Ki solution. Okay, potassium iodide solution, and you will get a salt sort of golden yellow precipitate. With potassium iodide, which is a colorless solution, also we are getting a yellow precipitate only. Okay, with potassium dichromate, potassium chromate also, you have got the yellow precipitate only, which was a little bit more of yeah, you can compare it. This is potassium dichromate and the precipitate with that, and here is potassium iodide and the precipitate formed due to that. Okay, now what we have to do is this precipitate formed is to be heated. We have to heat this mixture and let's see what happens. I am keeping it in the water bath for heating. It will take some time. It will take around 5 minutes for getting it properly heated. Let's see. So here we have the precipitate that you have got when potassium iodide solution was added to the first group solution. Okay, first group clear solution, that means lead chloride clear solution in hot water taken into which we have added Ki solution, potassium iodide solution. We have got a yellow precipitate, and in that we have to add a little bit of water, then you have to heat it. Again the precipitate dissolves, and on cooling you will get, I hope you can see, golden yellow hanging particles. Okay, we call it golden spangles. Okay, some hanging particles of golden yellow color, which is called golden spangles. This is the confirmatory test for lead cation. Okay, so today we have analyzed one complete cation, and in the previous class we have analyzed the anion. Our anion was chloride. We have confirmed it with sodium carbonate extract and silver nitrate solution. Okay, and today we have confirmed the cation present in the salt. So now we have completely analyzed the salt. Okay, the salt was lead chloride. Okay, and today onwards you will be getting the documents, and next day onwards I will try to analyze a complete salt in the class, and at least we took 3 classes for analyzing a single salt, and now from now onwards I will not explain all these repeated procedures again and again. I will just go on analyzing the salt. A complete salt will be analyzed in a class, during a class. Okay, and today I will send document with this video for writing in your observation copy. Salt analysis documents will also be there, and that you will be writing in your observation copy, and when you are asked you will be submitting it. Okay, then that's all for today's class. Until we meet again in the next class with another video, with another salt. Take care. Bye.